spouse and wife is the same person, but the duties are, uh, yes, they are received differently. So if you say this is my spouse, that's different. If you say these are my parents instead of this is my mom and dad, or my mom and mom, or my dad and dad. If you say these are my siblings, that's my older sibling, that's my younger sibling, that's my middle siblings. It changes the dynamic, and it takes away all of those things that they mean, because now you're just a sibling and you're a parent, you're a spouse, my significant other, my partner. Now the brain has to process that differently. But you say that's my wife. Oh, I know. It's like, there go my husband over there. Look at him, just breathing. Then that changes. Look at it, just now you know. And those are gender in theory specific. But now you just say it's spouse, my amazing offspring. Now that's different, because that's actually true. So the whole thing is to stop it with any bias. Check your bias. Check your bias. Check your bias. And ask yourself, where did it come from? Is this my own personal bias, or is this something that was handed down to me along with all my other generational curses? And you can do something about it, because we're not going to change as a human population until we start changing as individuals. It's not going to work. This whole notion of, I'm pointing my finger at you, you don't want to need to change, you don't want to need to change. And my daughter and I actually had this conversation this morning. Everybody's bias wants everybody else's bias to change. So I don't want to walk in an auto shop and see a woman there. So no women should be in an auto shop because it makes me uncomfortable. No women should be in Lowe's because it makes me uncomfortable. No men should be cashiers because it makes me uncomfortable. So fuck your comfort. Who cares about your comfort? If that person is doing a good job, let that person do a good job and stop it, because that's what it's saying. You need to change your bias, but I'm not going to change mine. You need to change your bias. Your bias is wrong. My bias is correct. No, they're all wrong. They're all wrong because it stops you from seeing people as another human being. COVID happened. We all had to go to the house. Didn't matter where we were placed in society. Everybody's equal because everybody could have caught it and everybody could have not been here. That's what it showed everybody. And then as soon as it was over, everybody went back to their biases and got right back into their nice little comfort zones and their little cliques and all of that. And they stayed in those systems. And that's why 4 years later, here we are back where we were from before. That's what's taking place. Start seeing other people as human beings and stop giving other people credit because of your bias for them. Stop saying, oh my goodness, that person is a megastar. No, they're just a human being. They're a human being. They have the same bodily functions as you and all of that. Now, could they be physically fit and do more in this area? Yeah, but they might not be able to count to 100. So there you have it. So start seeing people as people. That's what personal accountability says. When you go to the website, you look at the 74 principles of real leadership, you will see that they are not gender specific. They have nothing to do with class, education, socioeconomic status, none of that at all. Here is how you treat other human beings. This is what you do. And then from there, you get what you get. And you have this different experience because you took all your biases off. You took your rose colored glasses off and you got to see people for who they were. How many times have you met someone, might have dated them, might have married them, and they are not the person that you thought that they were? And now you're like, ugh, this is all bad. Or man, they were so much better. But if you had just saw the person as a person first, and then started gathering data, you would have known that they were a liar. You would have known that they were a compassionate person, that they would give you the shirt off their back, or they would never sacrifice themselves for anything for you. You would have, if you had just taken the time to find out who they were. But then that will require you to ask questions. That will require you to listen. That will require you to embrace diversity. That would require you to take a risk and actually sit down and connect with another human being on a level that's beyond what you physically see, and that isn't part of your bias. That's what it is. So yes, I think we have 2 more or 3 more biases left. I got to check. But this conversation is necessary, and it needs to be on my YouTube channel so that I can share it with other people, because everybody has it. And then for you to act like you don't, you're not being honest. Be honest is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And when you know better, you can do better. So none of you thought I'm biased about any of these topics, and beauty bias yesterday, or even the conformity bias. You're thinking peer pressure to make me do some stuff I would never do, but it's there. So now as you make decisions going forward, you're not going to make these poor choices because of your bias. You're going to be objective.